And welcome back to a Sappho Academic. So I got a update on the Andrew Tate case. I feel like I should do this update because I feel like not a lot of people or barely anybody is taking a look at some of this information that I got here. People are wrapped up in their narratives, their echo chamber that Romania is completely corrupt and there's absolutely zero evidence that Andrew Tate did anything wrong. So we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know what the outcome's gonna be, like everybody else. We're waiting. But I just wanted to go through two updates, and just give my reaction. So without further ado, this is the Law and Crime Network, a reputable source for news. Again, Law and Crime, they're not in Romania, they're in the US. But this is a pretty big update, I would have to say. This is 2 weeks ago.
Jailhouse recordings capture social media star Andrew Tate trying to bribe Romanian officials to get out of jail. Romanian lawyer Stefan Loredan comes on to break down the latest reports in the case. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. I have covered a lot of stories at Law and Crime, and if there's one thing I can tell you, you gotta stay safe. And that is where palm pepper spray can really help.
Uh-oh.
Feet using the point and spray.
You
And
had
here's
to
the
plug
Crime
it
10.
in.
As you know, here on Sidebar, we have been carefully covering the ongoing legal situation of controversial social media star Andrew Tate. Tate is the former professional kickboxer, the self help guru, the internet personality who has been heavily criticized for his seemingly misogynistic and controversial views. And we have reported that he was arrested in December in Romania. In fact, it wasn't just him, it was him, his brother Tristan, two women. They've all been detained for allegations of human trafficking and rape. More specifically, the Romanian investigative agency that's at the head of this, they're called the Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime and Terrorism, DCOT, said through a webcam business that's owned by the Tate brothers, these defendants, quote, created an organized crime group with the purpose of recruiting, housing, and exploiting women by forcing them to create pornographic content meant to be seen on specialized websites for a cost. And by the way, the Tates are still behind bars. They're still in Romanian jail. We know that when they were first arrested on December 29th, a court granted the prosecutor's request to keep the Tates behind bars for 30 days. Again, this is according to Romanian law. Tate appealed that decision. It was denied. And in fact, he kept appealing it, and the detention orders kept getting extended for another 30 days and another 30 days. So he actually just lost his third appeal and now will remain in jail until at least March 29th. But our understanding is this could be extended even further. And by the way, this is all happening while they haven't been charged with anything. It seems under Romanian law that they can be detained while the investigation continues. So this detention could extend for 180 days without being charged. But now, we have some important updates to get to, including secret recordings of Andrew Tate from jail. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? You know who I'm bringing in? I'm bringing in Romanian lawyer Stefan Loredan, who has been our expert on this case. And Stefan, you were the one who actually brought this update to our attention because we haven't heard anything about it. None of the, as far as I could tell, none of the American news outlets have been reporting this. I want you to kind of break it down for us. Apparently, there is a Romanian publication that came forward with allegations that Andrew Tate was doing something and saying something on the jailhouse phones. Can you break it down for us?
Only thing I'm gonna say is the jailhouse phone is what brought Tory Lanez down when he did that apology. I don't know why in 2023 people are still talking on the jailhouse phones like it's all sweet. But we'll continue.
Yeah. First of all, thanks so much for having me. So actually, the publication is called Gândul. Um, I only took I took Gândul as a source of information for during the entire investigation phase for Andrew Tate's case, and I think they are a reliable source. So far, everything they said it was on point, and it was matching the exact releases that we had from the authorities. But I would also mention that we are talking right now about some conversation that took place on the phone between Andrew Tate and one of his friends. Her name is Anna. But those phone calls are actually the phones that were allowed to him to give to his list of friends inside the prison. So in those conversations, yeah,
By the way, before we even get into this, number one, these are, if you know, these are phones that are allowed in the jail. Are they cell phones? Are they actually landlines? I mean, because, you know, typically we always think about in American jails, there's a landline, you get a call out, and we know those calls are being recorded. Are these calls always recorded? Do the inmates know that they're being recorded?
yeah. So actually, it's a common practice to record those calls. It's not something that is specific to Andrew Tate's case. To be honest with you, I'm surprised how he didn't know about this or how he didn't protect his conversations, right?
It means he has a bad lawyer. The lawyer should have told him, don't say ish on those damn phones. Got a bad lawyer.
Um,
With $100 from RBC, get more
Uh-oh.
ramen and less
Got hit
ramen.
with the ad.
More haircuts.
but yeah, to your point, is a common practice. Now, I don't know exactly whether they are using like old type of line calls or they are using like cell phones, you know. But one thing is for sure, Decode has been recording all of his calls inside and outside of the prison. So
Okay, so
So, I mean, you say what you want about the trafficking charges. If they really have him on this, he's toast. He's toast, in my opinion. These are just more charges going to be added on, and it's more of a reason to keep him detained because he's actively trying to wash a charge. Continue on.
do we know? So you said it's a call between him and an associate named Anna. Do we know when this call took place? And also, obviously, let's get into what he allegedly told her.
yeah, I think it's one of the latest calls that he had with Anna. In fact, he did two mistakes. Or he made two mistakes. Sorry. So the first mistake was he's only allowed to speak with a certain list of people, but it seems like during those calls, actually the receiver was connecting him to other people as well. So that's one of the first mistakes. And the second, which is the transcript that we've seen on the publication Gundul, is the conversation between him and Anna, multiple paragraphs where he says to Anna that, okay,
Andrew Tate. So give them that incentive because it's true. Andrew Ford's plan, British lawyer for Tate brothers, no, is just a thing on social media. That's fine, but we need it and we need it now. It shouldn't take this long. Anna, yes. Andrew Tate. Also, Anna, there's a guy called George Simeon. He's a he's a protester or something. He's on Facebook and he's always posting about stuff. Anna. Oh, yes, 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 I know. Andrew Tate. Talk to him and anyone else like him who doesn't like the corruption in Romania and understand that if he helps us, he will be rewarded. Understand? Anna. Yes, yes. Andrew Tate. Talk to him and tell him that this case is I can't make that out. They are Americans. They are making Romania look bad. Dicot is corrupt. Talk to him and tell him that this case is they are Americans. They are making Romania look bad. Okay, so Anna. Also, so Soska, she is also a lawyer. She also fought against COVID. You remember her now. Okay, so that's really nothing, but
just go and find those two politicians and tell them that if they will support our cause, they are going to get compensated once we get out, which, as you can imagine, is something that can be considered as bribery.
I mean, that's exactly bribery. So
so it looks like they caught him on bribery. They should have put the full transcripts, to be honest. It says so give them that incentive because it's true. It doesn't say too much, to be honest. Or in this down here as well too. Understand if he helps us, he'll be rewarded. George Simeon, he's a protester or something. Well, we'll continue on.
Which, as you can imagine, is something that can be considered as bribery.
I mean, that's exactly bribery. So do we know who these politicians are? Do we know if any acts were made in furtherance of that? Do we know if they actually were contacted on behalf of Andrew Tate or anything like that?
Yep. So we don't know yet if they've been contacted or if any actions. We know for a fact that two names were mentioned during this call, and I can tell you who are those two politicians. One of it is a male, and he's actually a leader of a political party. His name is George Simeon. He's very well known for being very vocal in the Romanian press and being like a advocate for anti-corruption and things like this.
It's interesting because in the transcript, he referred to him as a protester or something. He didn't say he was a politician, so interesting. Maybe interesting. It seems interesting that you will call him a protester. Maybe he knew that he was being recorded on the phone, but it doesn't make any sense to continue on with obviously what is bribery, no matter if you say he's a protester or whatever. He's obviously a politician, not a protester. So we got one name.
And also a big protester, right? Like he's doing those big protests all over the world. And then the second one, she's a woman. I think if she's still an attorney, but she's also like a politician.
Okay. Do we know if it was to try to get him out of jail, pending the investigation, or for the charges to be dropped?
Okay. So the conversation were somewhere along those lines. Andrew Tate was asking his friend Anna to reach out to those politicians and make them join his cause by because and say to the public, because those people are vocal on social media, right? And say to the public that the Romanian system is corrupt, that DCOT is corrupt, that they are innocent, that there's no victims in this case, and this would look bad for Romania as a whole. And he was promising again. He was saying that make sure they understand that once the boys, which is referring to themselves, get out, they are going to get, the boys are going to compensate them. Okay, so that's how he was phrasing it.
Yeah. Doesn't seem very smart at all. But it's not a shocker. Not a shocker, because we go back to previous comments of Andrew Tate. So I'm just gonna play this and I'm gonna let it speak for itself. Here we go.
I'm a law student. What do men like you look for in their transactional/business attorneys? Flexibility. Don't be a Mr. Follow the rules.
Yeah, no, Mr.
I'm looking for Better Call Saul.
Absolutely.
I'll make it happen. That's what we need. That's what real G's need.
Get me out of jail.
Well, the law says...
The law says you're guilty. I said get me out of jail!
So before we found our lawyer, we met a bunch of lawyers here in
I mean, I have to say, he really is a character.
Romania. We're like, look, I mean, speeding was a topic we brought up. And there was this, our lawyer's a G. Shout out to my lawyer. He is a G. But before we found him, we went and interviewed some bimbo in her suit who sat there and started talking about laws to us. Well, if you're banned from driving and you get caught driving, what's going to happen?
I don't go see a lawyer to talk about the law.
And she said, well, then you go to jail. And Andrew looks at her in the face and said, not if I have the right lawyer, I don't. And we left.
Yeah.
Yo, I can see why people find him entertaining. He's definitely entertaining for sure. People say that he plays a character or he's in character. Yeah, this character is definitely entertaining, I have to say.
That's right.
What? You're telling me that I'm gonna go to jail?
Then why am I going to hire you?
Failure.
I walked in there and said, listen, I've committed multiple felonies. Am I going to go to jail? Well, probably. Well, then see ya. Bye.
Why would I give you my money?
You're useless. I went into some other man. I was a female. I went to a man's office, said I've committed multiple felonies.
There are things we can do. We could try this. We could try that.
No problem.
I make one call.
You don't go to jail.
There's no problem.
No problem.
We
fix
send
this.
somebody else to jail.
We send him. He is the new Andrew. He
Yeah.
shave his head and he go. I'm like, all right, it's cool. That's the lawyer I want.
That's the lawyer I
So
want.
nobody wants when you're talking to your legal clients, don't start talking Mr. Legal Schmiegel. Because
Yeah.
you think you sound smart. Well, I went to law school and it says on page
We don't care.
We don't care
about the law.
It says on page 48 of the Geek Bible that on the .214 that if I'm a nerd, and then Scott Adams called me. No one cares.
How can you help me?
How much
fix
does
my
it
problems?
cost to make this all go away?
That's what we want to hear.
How much does it cost to make this all go away? Damn. Damn. They did say a lot. And it's funny that they talk about going to a lawyer that is a woman, and they hired an American woman to be their I guess their American spokesperson. She can't actually do anything for them in Romania, but they still decided to hire her anyways. Find very interesting. Here's another clip.
In previous videos, we have seen your client Andrew Tate boasting of being able to pay off the Romanian criminal justice system. So is that the intention for Andrew Tate now that he's actually, in jail? Is he going to try to buy off the Romanian criminal justice system?
This guy is worse than DJ Vlad. Like, who asked that type of question? Very interesting.
For sure, no. As a lawyer, I can say a big no.
Well, it looks like that's not true, my friend. It looks like they've been working behind your back, trying to get things done, because obviously you can't get anything done, even though you're a man who's a lawyer. But
A big no.
He's going to have to go through...
And I don't want to answer, to comment anymore, because I don't know this statement of my client, this declaration of my client, and...
he is so shook about what they said, he doesn't even want to deal with it. He's like, yo, these motherfuckers are dumb as hell. I can't believe they said that. I can't believe I got to deal with this ish. Oh my goodness.
But again, you might think that that's just him playing a character.
It is possible. It is possible.
He didn't even say yes. He said it is possible. Oh my goodness. And this is the lawyer that they're bragging about. This is the lawyer they were just bragging about. Anyways, we'll go on. So we got Bruce Rivers. So another Western perspective, of course, but there's even more information. This was 5 days ago. So let's check it out.
If you look at, take the girls out of it, take the sex trafficking completely out of it. His way of doing business, even by his own admission, is that he's not paying taxes. He owes 13.5 million lei, that's LEI, I think that's how you pronounce it, which is actually, I think, about $3 million in back taxes that they know of so far.
He owes $3 million in back taxes in Romania. So, I mean, we all know how it is in the US. If you don't pay your taxes, you're going to jail. So if Romania has anything similar, anything closely similar to what it is in the States, that means Andrew Tate is cooked. He is done. For how long? I don't know. But 13 million Romanian currency sounds like a lot. I mean, it's only 3 million US, but even 3 million US, they could get some heads to roll for sure.
He's also teaming up with, or has teamed up in a couple different companies. The Las Vegas Games is one, and there's these mafia brothers that are being invested by DICOT. DICOT is that the investigative agency in Romania. And so these, and then he talks about other schemes, and they're just, nothing is sacred with this guy. Now, the authenticity of the stuff that we come across, I mean, clearly that video was him from Hustler University. I want you to listen to this recording. This is of Andrew Tate, and listen to what he's advocating. And this just blows my mind how this is even out in the ether. You talk about self-snitching. Why do you think I hold these hats in such regard? Because
Stop self-snitching. We just seen from the video what Andrew Tate was all about. To get the clicks and the views, he will say the most outlandish shit, but we have to admit, under every joke, under every, little form of art, there is some truth to it. 100%. You can't deny that. So for sure, he was self-snitching. He self-snitched about a lot of stuff.
I want you guys to stop self-snitching. Listen to this.
Stop
Well, this
self-snitching.
exchange is more remotely, guys. The guys who owns this exchange is straight fucking gangster. So if you Google up, you'll notice that the Bulgarian government, they seized about, I think, some billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin from some criminal guys, and they did that because the guys were trying to sell the Bitcoin through an exchange, so they made their own exchange now.
If somebody is under the watchful eye of the government, you want to get as far away from them as possible because you don't want to be painted with their brush, right? He is not only self-snitching in this clip, but he's snitching on others. Listen to this.
It's basically a mafia exchange, so all the mafia guys are just going to be fucking around with all the money in here. Because this exchange don't give a shit where the money comes from. It's all just shady underworld shit. But the Boa coin that they've launched, they're going to pump hard. So get the coin shit. But the Boa coin.
So they had a whole coin pumping up, scamming, money laundering. So on top of bribery, he got money laundering through crypto. And a few weeks ago, all of Andrew Tate's crypto was seized. So if all of Andrew Tate's crypto was seized and there's no evidence against them, what is really going on? What is really true? But here he's talking about a specific money laundering operation involving with this crypto and a certain crypto exchange. Let's go.
That they've launched, they're going to pump hard. So get the coins free now because they're completely free. It's going to go up. So they've got some things going on. It's going to go up. I'll let you know when. They'll tell me when a good time to sell is.
Okay, first of all, he tells you that there's this mafia exchange and they don't give a shit where the money comes from. Well, that's money laundering 101. I mean, it just is. Secondly, nothing's free in this world. You know, you're going to log on, you're going to buy some of this Boa coin, and just listen to the rest of this.
I don't know what they're aiming for. They're aiming for $100 a coin. That's going to be fucking hard. They're aiming for $100 a coin.
You mean for $100 a coin and only won 62 cents? Damn, this. I mean, if to be in all honesty, if it started below a cent, fractional, this 62-cent high couldn't make a lot of money. Imagine if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros. Imagine if it started there and went all the way to 62 cents. That's a pretty big profit despite $100 being the target. That's a pretty big profit if you really think about it and calculate that. That's an insanely big project, especially if supposedly people are getting it for free.
For $100 a coin, But we'll see what happens. But even if it goes up to 50, 60.
Are you tired of the
got
same old
hit by
real
another
estate
ad
investment
again.
strategies?
Damn.
Do you want to learn from
Bang,
the
bang.
best in the
Who cares? It's free. So that's a mafia exchange. But yeah, that's why it's hard for U.S. citizens. But if you want to use a VPN, no one gives a fuck.
So you just said if you have a VPN, you could just use it because it's hard for U.S. citizens.
No one gives a who's going to take advice from this guy? Honestly, who's going to take advice, business advice? Okay, here I'm going to tell you. Just go onto this mafia exchange. Nobody cares. Hey, nobody gives it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is just. First of all, if you're in bed with the mafia, you better not put shit online because you put stuff online. Guess what? They don't like people talking at all because they don't want limelight shining on them.
Of course, he's speaking from a Western perspective. I mean, look what happened to the Western Mafia or U.S. Mafia that got taken down. Well, not completely taken down, but talking too much, being too flashy. I mean, look at the movie Casino. That's what it was all about, being too flashy. They said John Gotti was too flashy and everything. But that's really it for this video. I just wanted to bring those two big updates. So even though it's not it doesn't pertain to sex trafficking, it still shows that they're still in pretty deep waters at this point. Bribery, tax evasion, money laundering, and those are part of the charges against them on top of the sex trafficking. So it could be a scenario where they might walk from the trafficking but the get caught in the tax evasion, money laundering. I don't know what the sentence will be like. And this is just a guess. This is just a guess. If everything about the trafficking turns out to be misconstrued or not exactly what Romanian officials say it to be, just to get them on tax evasion and money laundering, then it still is what it is by the end of the day. He moved to Romania specifically to take advantage of the corruption because he said if the whole world is corrupt, why don't you go to a place where you could tap into that corruption? Looks like it's blowing up tenfold in his face. So you're not going to see many people doing updates like this. You're going to see echo chambers, narratives being spun. There's no evidence, this and that. But clearly, there's something going on. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but obviously the Romanian officials took notice to all the stuff that he said and they're taking action. So if you're a Tate fan, you have to realize that Tate talked way too much and attracted way too much attention to himself. Now, should people be locked up for stuff that they just say? No, I don't think so. But if you're actually doing the stuff and then just spewing it all over social media, then you really get what's coming to you. I'm sorry to say. Try to be as neutral as possible, try to weigh as many facts as possible. In my opinion, I see too many narratives being pushed, too many echo chambers repeating the same thing. Tate is innocent, Romania is corrupt. But at the end of the day, he moved there to be corrupt himself. So what does that actually say about Tate? Now it's blowing up in his face. So can we really feel sorry for him for trying to take advantage of a corruption that ended up possibly blowing up on him? So that's just me. This is a real unbiased update on the Andrew Tate saga. And we'll just have to see what happens. But check out my other video, Andrew Tate in Islam and his casinos. That's a very eye-opening video as well too. But thanks for watching my videos and catch you in the next one. Peace.